All right, guys, and welcome back. Welcome back. And now we will start doing some yield hacking together. We will explore some different yield hacking strategies and we will see what is the best strategy, what are all the things that we need to look at, and what are all the different aspects and ratios and metrics that we can look at to have and create the best yield performing strategy. This is just an introductory, and I will publish more of my personal yield hacking strategies on my blogs and in the forum later on. This is not investment advice. The goal is to build your knowledge stack first, gain knowledge, and then maybe make an investment. But that's completely up to you. So this is not investment advice. It's important to say. Also, as a prerequisite for this yield hacking strategy part, I want to recommend to you guys to do the technical algorithmic trading and technical analysis course done by Philip. It's really good. It's really cool. It explains how to plan your investment strategy. It explains how to not take too much risk, and it explains, how you can make an investment plan. And I think a DeFi strategy, yield hacking strategy, can be part of that investment plan. And Philip really explains this really well in his course, where you have an idea, there's different instruments that you can use, and you need to calculate the risk. You need to see if it's worth it or not. And he explains this whole metric in depth in his course. So I would recommend you guys to follow that course as well. Okay, so how to make decentralized finance work for you? Well, first of all, when you start setting up your yield hacking strategy, and when you want to make your move, or when you start maybe investing in certain protocols and inject your assets into DeFi protocols that generate yield for you, make sure that the gas prices are low. So there will be times when there is high market activity, or when there's a certain market event, when the network gets a little bit more congested, then maybe wait for a little bit. Wait for a little bit before you make your investment moves. When the network fees are lower, then you can make your investment moves. All right. So there's a couple of different strategies that we can follow if we want to make decentralized finance, DeFi, work for us. We can set up some trading robots. We can invest our stable coins, etc., etc. We will explore some of these tactics more in depth. If we go to compare, this is a concept actually created by Consensus. We can actually compare different protocols and different rates of yield on our stable coins. So here you can see on our USDC, we can get a maximum of 12.48% on Neon, but DeFi score is pretty low, meaning there's quite some risks involved. And on Aave, the risks are, the interest rate is a little bit lower, but also the risks are less. So this is something you need to take into your account in your DeFi investment strategy. So you see where you can get the highest yield, and see where this yield is actually not too risky. So yeah, you can explore this for yourself. You can check out the different platforms where you can invest, the different assets that you can invest, and you can see the different yield and return rates right here. So basically, we can invest our stable token into a yield generating asset. So if we have some dollars or some euros, some spending money on our bank accounts, you can leave that in a DeFi protocol to earn a stable yield on your capital that you're not using for maybe arbitrage trading, or you're not using it for different trading strategies, but that you just want to park aside so that you have a safe amount of capital available for when you need it. I would say then you can invest in CDAI or ADAI. You can invest a portion of your capital in there that is like really low risk and relatively low return. And then you can get a stable yield of, as you can see here, like 3.727%. Or you can use an interest rate swap, as Andre explained. You can get like a stable rate for a year, And these stable rates can range from 10% to 15% to 5%. It's really determined on your risk appetite. But you can pick the different yields that you feel comfortable with, the yield versus risk ratio. All right. So then we can also look at the AVE statistics. This dashboard we already used in some different videos as well. Here we have a really nice overview, and we can see a lot of different data sets of the different yields per asset. And we can see how much people borrow, we can see how much people deposit, we can see how much flash loans that are going on. And as you can see here, there's quite a lot of flash loans happening here. And what I find interesting is that the DAI flash loans shot to the roof. I think that is because some people are doing some collateralized swaps of their CDPs. It's interesting dynamics here. And you can also see the protocol fees that have been collected. So this is for the land token. It's pretty good token economics. And if we go to the Aave protocol themselves, I think I have to open here as well. You can see more in depth so this is my Aave, the Aave protocol. You can see more in-depth metrics of when you actually lend out a certain asset type and you get an interest. You can see more in depth the risks that you're taking with that. As you can see here, there is if we go to, for example, USDT. Let's take this example here. There's a 4.5 interest rate. There's available around 2 million. 4.7 million is borrowed. And there's a stable fee of 1.9% and a variable fee of 4.05%. Well, this means that people with the stable fee think, okay, there you can get a stable fee fixed for 1.9% at that point for a longer period of time, or you can get a variable fee of 4.505, which can go lower or higher over time. As you can see here, we can click on these different assets, and then we can actually look into the metrics of DAI, for example. You can see here they really made a nice upgrade to their dashboard. And you can see here there is the amount borrowed and the amount available for liquidity. All right. So that's pretty cool. Also, some other really cool concepts that we explained also in a previous video is token sets. And token sets give you the possibility to invest in a token that is at the same time also a trading strategy. So here we can invest in different token sets that also represent trading strategies. And this is a really cool concept because then you don't have to actively trade. You just buy a token, and basically underlying the assets will automatically rebalance, and you get automatic exposure to that potential interest. And you can visit that on tokenviz.io, and you can explore all the different sets more in depth. Here, one of my favorite yield hacking strategies is Zapper.fi, and they also made this really cool, handy dashboard that we can see here. And in this dashboard, it basically shows us all the different assets that we have. And for our for this course, I made a small demo, so I invested around $1,000, and I invested that in the different protocols, and I already have like a gain of like $380 right here. And this is basically because Ethereum went up quite a bit, and because some yield was generated. So for example, this pool that I have here, I have two pools, Ethereum DAI and DAI Ethereum, and they generated quite some nice returns for me. One, because the Ethereum price went up, and two, because of the economics of the pool. I also invested in Balancer, so I invested in a MakerDAO ETH set. So I have some Maker and I have some ETH in this Maker ETH pool. And as you know, Maker also went up, so this also contributed to that strategy that I have. So I would really recommend you to explore Zapper.fi. In Zap.fi, you can also choose to, if you click the invest button, you can see a whole overview of different investment possibilities right here. Right, and like if you have multiple investments here, I have Uniswap version 2, Uniswap version 1. Right now, it only works for version 1, the rebalancing. But let's say I have like 10 different pools with version 1. And as you can see, yeah, here I think I invested 1 ETH and 2 on DAI, or I don't remember the exact metrics. But what happens over time, your pools get kind of out of balance. And at one click of the button, you can actually start rebalancing all your pools so that they go back to a certain ratio. And this is part of the maintenance that you need when you actually set up a yield hacking strategy. When you set up this yield hacking strategy, you can mostly automate it, but you still need to sometimes look at it and make another investment decision. So an decision could be, do I rebalance my pools? Do I keep my pools the same way as they are or not? And these are decisions that you have to make as a investor. Then, if we go to DeFi Zap, which is also a protocol from Zapper.fi, we can actually explore different Zaps that we can invest in. Because normally, if we invest in a pool like this, I have to go to Uniswap, then I have to click on a pool, then I have to buy the 2 different tokens, and then I have to invest 1 token and the other token in the pool. It's kind of a lot of work and also high gas cost. So what if I just want to invest with 1 token? Well, I click this pool, for example, the maker pool. I say I want to zap in. I can say I want to have a pool on Uniswap or 1inch. 1inch also is providing pools right now. Interesting development. So it's not only Uniswap, but it's also 1inch. And then with 1 click on the button, I can input ETH. So I say, for example, I want to invest 0.1 ETH. And then automatically it will give me here a small amount of ETH and a small amount of maker. And I will get 0.05 maker pool tokens. So as you can see here, this is quite interesting. And I can all do that. And I zap in. And then you can see here, I have to confirm the transaction. And actually the gas fees are pretty low. So it's only $2 for me to actually make this transaction. If I would go like directly to Uniswap or to 1inch, the fees for this will be significantly higher. And also another cool thing is I can also easily zap out. So let's say I have an investment in this, and then I want to zap out. I can easily zap out of this position. I think, yeah. So I think, yeah. So here you see, I actually invested some in this DAI pool, and if I want to invest out a little bit, I can do that here. I can say, oh, I want to receive all of my earnings in ETH, or I want to receive all of my earnings in DAI, and I want to zap out. I click. And then what happens is it actually says, okay, you just have to pay 40 cents and you zap out of this position. It's really cool, makes it much cheaper than what we're used to. As you know, the problem is with some of these strategies that the gas costs are pretty high. All right. So before we continue, we're going now into a little bit deeper into Uniswap pools, and we're going to go deeper into how Uniswap works. We're going to do that in the next video. See you in the next video, guys. Thank you.